G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something a little different, not a fishing video. Instead, I'm going to talk you guys through my top 3 Australian river nymphs. So, the river nymphs that I found I've had my best success in Australia, in no particular order, we'll start. First one has to be a pheasant tail nymph. Hotspot pheasant tail is probably my favourite fly. I've got in my fly box there, I've got one side dedicated totally to pheasant tail variations. But a hotspot pheasant tail is so versatile. I mean, it's one of the best nymphs all around the world, but it's slim, so it sinks really quickly. It's got a really nice subtle hotspot, not too much, and it works with a range of bead colors, so copper, silver, gold, pink. It's a really, really good fly. And if the water gets crystal clear and the fish get touchy, you can take the hotspot away and you've just got a plain pheasant tail nymph. So that has to be my number one, my favorite all-round river nymph. So another must-have river fly in Australia, and it's one of my favorites, is a heron partridge. Very, very simple fly. Essentially, it's just a partridge tail. It's got a hare's ear body, a little rib through it, and then a partridge hackle. And again, that fly, like the pheasant tail, is so good because it works in so many different bead colors. Pink, silver, gold, copper, rose gold, nickel. Really, really good and really versatile. The soft hackle makes it really good, so it means you can swing the fly, you can animate it. It has a bit of bulk, so it's good in low light. But just an all-round classic, one of my favorites. I have a tying of that actually and my pheasant tail on the YouTube channel because they're the flies I use so much and guide with. But fantastic fly. You can see in my fly box, that's all of them down there, and they're quite depleted because I use them and lose them so much. So heron partridge, really simple fly, just a variation on a normal hare's ear, and there's lots of them out there. So I mean, some really good anglers fish them with CDC hackles. Devin Olsen has a soft hackle carrot, which is almost the exact same fly, but you're subbing out the partridge hackle for a CDC hackle. So again, it's not that much about the fly, it's just having that hare's ear, that hackled, bulkier option for you. And third, and it's not last because it's, you know, not one of my best, because it's equally as good as the other two patterns I've just talked about, and that's a orange tag or a pink tag nymph. So tag nymphs have just taken the world by storm recently. They're really good. They're versatile because you can have so many different tags on them. You can have a long tag for dirty water, and you can cut the tag back and shorten it for clear water or touchy fish. So, I mean, I've got an orange tag in my hand there. I really like a pink tag as well. Some rivers you'll find different tag colors work better. But again, that's a fly that works with a silver bead, a gold bead, a copper bead, a pink bead. So super versatile, and you know, just a way to get a nice hotspot, and you can mix the hotspot up. I mean, a Peeping Caddis, you probably know, is one of my favorite flies. It's essentially just a tag nymph, but a more old-fashioned one. So have those in your box as well. Super simple to tie those ones. You can tie them with a dark body, like my orange tags. I've got some of them here which have a hare's ear body, and then I've got some of them which have a black body. And which one I use will depend on what's on my other dropper. So if I have a dark fly on my point, say, I might use a tag nymph on the top dropper with a hare's ear body. But if I had a hare's ear on the point, I might use a tag nymph on the top dropper with a dark body. So it's very simple and versatile and can work around your other flies like that. Now, another fly which doesn't make it into my top 3 Australian river nymphs, but I still love it because it has its place and it's deadly at times, and that is this guy here, a squirmy worm. Oh, he's lost a bit of the tail. Worms, mops, the junk flies. Look, they're not go-to flies, but if the water's high, you need to have them in your box. So they're not like, you know, they don't smash it all year round. They're not like, if people think they're like a silver bullet because they catch a heap on them one day and they think, wow, that is really good. And they are really good, but you know, you need the right water conditions. Early season, late season, they're really good. Stockfish, they're really good. So again, not in the top 3 for me, but worth a mention because you can't go out fishing anywhere or on a trip without having some sort of worm fly in your box. So that could be like a chenille worm, like a San Juan style worm, or a squirmy worm like that. Again, when you're tying your worms, it may sound overly simple, but always tie them long, because when you get to the river, you've got nippers, you can always cut them shorter, but you can't make them longer. So you can change your size like that. The other thing to mention, you'll probably notice when you see, I'll hopefully have edited some nice close-ups into the flies here for this video, but most of my flies are around a size 16. that's really good for Australia. If I was fishing overseas, I'd probably, like in America, I might beef up my fly size a little bit in certain areas and certain water types, but Australia, our rivers are quite low, they're clear. Mayfly and a lot of our insects under the rocks you roll, they're quite small. So I really like small flies over here. 16's great. Some small beaded ones I'll have in an 18, and some bigger beaded ones I'll have in a 14. But 16 for me is pretty much, you know, the average fly size for me in Australia. Now the other thing need to mention is that flies are very important, and I love flies, that's why I've done this video, but flies aren't as important as a good drift. Good drift and a good presentation, and the right presentation on the day, will always trump fly choice. Fly choice only becomes important once you've got the drift and your presentation correct. So don't get too hung up on the flies. Go out, tie these ones, fish them, you'll catch a lot of fish hopefully. But remember, presentation and the drift comes first, and then the fly comes second, because without a good drift, no matter, you can have the world's best fly and it's still not going to work that well for you. So get the drift and the presentation right first, and then the fly comes second. And finally, it's really good to watch videos, read books, source as much information as you can, but there's no better way to learn and improve your skills than getting on the water. So if you are interested in a session, head over to my website, tomjarmanfishing.com. You can email me, book a session on the water, book a day, and we can go through all this stuff in more depth, because there's just so much out there to learn, and it's so cool and exciting. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already to the channel, please. Like the videos, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks with my next video. I'll definitely do my top 3 dry fly video as well. So thanks for watching.